has set for itself is an ambitious target, whatever, from 142 to 50. My question to you is this a realistic objective? And in the time frame that they have set for themselves, which is 5 years? And is there any precedent of any country that has ever done this?
I think if it is a realistic objective or not depends a lot on the country. There have been countries that have done it. There's two that definitely come to mind that include more than 100 places over a 5-6 year period. And the two are Georgia and Rwanda. But they are, of course, very different from India. It would not be easy. It will be a big challenge and will involve coordination across the government. And I think that, to some extent, is one of the greatest value added of doing business, is that to get the government to talk to each other, the different parts, and to actually see that they're working towards the same goal, the same objective of helping their citizens, in this particular case, firms, but citizens also in general.
How do you think they should go about achieving this? Should they go about through these incremental changes, many of which you outlined, some of which they may do, and some, or for a complex country like India, should they go with the sort of approach Mr. Modi is going for, which is go for these big bang reforms?
There's many areas, even beyond what, definitely beyond what doing business measures that India can reform on. And I think it's better to have a broader approach and see the issues as a whole, because doing business is very narrow in its definition, just because we want to have a comparable measure across many countries. So we have to compare equal to equal, so it has to be very narrow, but ideally the reforms should be broad.
What are, in your views, the three things that you have observed in these last 20-odd years that make it doing business in India difficult?
Well, top three is when we went to India 20 years ago, mobile phones didn't exist. We went to India to really facilitate our clients doing business in India, teaming up with local Indian law firms, and actually being physically on the ground to help our clients. In those days, we only had fixed line telephones. We had to book a telephone call. Sometimes we booked a telephone call, 10 minutes later the call dropped. What really impresses me about Prime Minister Modi is that he will consider anything that is good for India. He very much has India as his top priority. He's doing all the right things and he's saying all the right things, which is why I said at the beginning he's acting as a catalyst. But this is only 1 year later, so there's a huge amount more work to do, but everything is going in the right direction.
How about you, Anish? Would you tend to agree with Richard? Is that what your clients are also telling you, the same thing, or in terms of the changes that are happening, are these visible on the ground?
I think the view of our clients is that the direction of travel is in the right direction, but the actual on-ground reality is not quite there yet. Either it's because of the strength of India's service sector, and the exports obviously that we're well aware of, but I think it also demonstrates that manufacturing is still a very small contributor to the GDP growth of India.
And what are the lessons that India can take, if any, from the UK here?
So the UK's been working since 2013 on getting into the top 5. There's a manifesto commitment for the current government, so the plan is to be into the top 5 by 2020, and it's treated as quite a high priority. The first one is, this is the best benchmark for business environment that exists. I'm not just saying that because Rita's here. So if you want to look at our performance across a whole range of issues, this is the best measurements there are. It's based on actual processes. So you've got the World Economic Forum Competitive Industry Index, but that's based on perceptions. So this is the best place to start. I think the second thing is you need real political will to drive the reforms. And we've had that in the UK with the PM making a statement in 2013, and again this has been a manifesto commitment. You've got Modi similarly making comments that he's driving his agenda, so the political will is there. I think the third thing is if you drive reforms in these areas, it's not just a paper exercise, you will have an impact on the business environment. There will be real impacts which will affect the way businesses operate.
The C word, corruption, obviously comes up in relation to any comments on what you see is happening on the ground in combating it, which obviously is a stated intent of the government.
I was flying down to Ahmedabad in January. I sat next to a gentleman who, first time I met him on the aeroplane, He was the finance director of a big construction company in India. He was a Jain, so we had a very nice conversation about the Jain religion. And then we got on to the famous subject of corruption. And he said, Richard, I can't do business effectively, without passing over the appropriate amount of money, because if I don't do that, I just won't get the consents and approvals. It's just a way of life. So yes, that's got to change. How is it going to change? Well, I think it's going to change from the youth of India. The youth of India is absolutely fed up to their back teeth with the amount of money that corrupt officials have creeped off over the years. So I think the change is going to come from the youth. You've got websites like iPayTheBribe.com where people can report a bribe.